Hello, 1, 2, 3. Now I got no chat running in Streamlabs. This is really, really not a good system. It gave me an error. So now I can't even see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to flip back in a second and use StreamYard. This just doesn't work. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So no audio. Let's just lose that music for a second. Sheesh, I'm in. So nothing from me. Oh, maybe there's something from me. Faint sound. A very faint sound. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. A very faint sound. But I can't see chat in this rubbish machine. Oh man. So I now have to look at I'm gonna have to look at my phone for the chat. And the audio is there. Or maybe I was just quiet before. Maybe it was working all the time and my mic was just ridiculously low. Oh, look at that. It is ridiculously low. Hold on 1 second. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's better. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There you go. That should be a little bit more pokey. 1, 2, 3. Put this back on again. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. And there it is. Well, hello there, everybody. This is going to be like a pretty chilled out stream just to test out StreamYard again, but it's obviously not working very well. But there you go. So let me just see what's going on down here. We should have a little bit of chilled out music going on. How are we all? I'm having to look at chat on my phone, unfortunately. Clem Fandango. Yes, I can hear you. Hello, Robbie. Now, if I can work out a way of telling Streamlabs that I am actually live, and it could give me a list of the current chat, then that would kind of be useful. Because if I stop, it's going to break, which is really annoying. I was checking out Streamlabs as a kind of way of doing the live streams instead of StreamYard, which is another online type of thing, because it had introduced this ability to add guests, which failed dismally last week when we tried them with BG Ollie. So that said, this has also not been a great test. I don't know what happened to the audio. Maybe it was me just having a too high an audio or too low an audio coming out of my mic. Just plug a few things in. But no, I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So let me pull it up on another screen. See what we can do. Sorry, my head is very big filling this screen. I've got it because the camera's pointing at the modular behind me, which I was going to start trying to get into action. Take your shirt off, darling, has been held for review. Thank you, Ken. All right, if I run this, I'm now looking at myself streaming, which isn't the most lovely thing to watch in the world, but however that should allow me to see any of your chats, so that's kind of cool. Hello to everyone in the chat. So let's try again. There's a few 8 or 9 or 10 or something people watching. If you're around, thank you for joining. Do pop up and say hello in chat. Hello to Professor Dick to Beat. Hello to everybody that was in the last chat, which I had to quit because there was obviously a problem with the mic. So anyway, welcome to work along a stream along a work. Kind of worked quite nicely last time. Aquatic Borealis, thank you for coming back. Native VS, hello to you too. And a continued stream about my diet of hot cross buns, which we discovered last week are not an American thing. Mrs. Wiggly's downloaded MyFitnessPal because she's big on, she's really big on nutrition, and doesn't seem to share my understanding that these hot cross buns are good for you in any way whatsoever. Native VS, is our life so boring that it has come to this? This isn't boring. This is work along a stream, yellow, all that kind of stuff. Could do an ASMR stream. Hey, Omri Cohen, thank you for joining. What I really want to do is be able to make StreamYard work, but I think this will be the last time I'm using it for a while. It's clearly, I don't know if it's because I'm on a Mac. There never used to be a Mac version. It's obviously been a bit of an afterthought, I think, because it's not worked correctly at all. Hey, Kurt. Hey, 10 Mil, how are you? Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're well. So, anyway, yes. MyFitnessPal is this app, if you've come across it, that you can point it at food with a barcode, actually, and even food in general without a barcode these days, and it'll tell you what it is, like a banana, if it recognises it. But if it does have a barcode, it tells you the protein and the vitamins and the minerals and all that kind of stuff. So I used to use it a while ago, which is actually when I realised how many calories is in a hot cross bun, which is a shock. I'll tell you the other thing that I was shocked about: how many calories are in Jacob's cream crackers. Worth a look. One of these, I don't eat these all the time, but there just happen to be a pack up here. They are, yeah, and it's like bad calories. I think you can have good calories and bad calories, or maybe that's fats, I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, MyFitnessPal, heartily recommend that if you want to go and see what you're actually eating and you realise quite how much is in some foods. Like you can eat a Caesar salad with more calories or whatever, or fats or whatever in it than the burger sometimes. It's absolutely crazy. Kent Spong, do none of you have jobs or something? We are working. We're all working. Kurt says, my wife is on Weight Watchers and it's an eye-opener seeing what's... Yeah, exactly. Seeing what's actually in the food. It's utterly crazy. Utterly crazy how much stuff is in there. 303 Cerebral, hello to you. 10 gram of protein in a bagel. How many calories in a peanut and jam sandwich? I have MyFitnessPal here. Also, it connects to things like you can buy scales, that kind of Wi-Fi scales. I think Fitbit make them, probably quite a few, but probably everyone's got them. I don't know these days, but every time you weigh yourself, it logs it into the app, so there's no escaping. The fibre on the salad is better than none in the burger. All that's gone. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You can go crazy on this. You can say, right, I'm going to cut down my calories. Clearly, eating a salad should be better than eating a burger, I would say, fat-wise anyway. I think it's just if they bung a load of, chicken Caesar salad sauce, CSSS as I like to call it. No, CSS. It's not going to be good for you. Aquatic Warrior is working. Yeah, this is the work distraction scheme, really, for everyone who's got nothing else better to do. But the reason I was doing it last week was to test out what was going on behind me. And I did find that normally if I'm kind of working in the afternoon on coding or messing around in the studio or doing something, I normally have YouTube on in the background. So I thought, well, this time what I'll do is I'll just stream what I'm doing in case there's any interest. And actually it turned out there was quite a lot of interest. All I was doing was putting modules in the modular rack, which I have now completed. Sort of. It's never complete really, is it? There's one more pedal on its way, which is a Strymon Digi. I'll show you in a minute. I took out I wanted delay and reverb, so I put in like a mini modular mixing desk in there effectively with 2 aux ends, and I've got a Strymon Blue Sky for the reverb, and I was going to try out the Soma delay that they've put a modular delay that comes out of the Lyra, which is really gritty and Soma-y really, and it didn't quite work because I've already got the pulsar around and all that kind of stuff. It was mono as well, and I kind of wanted a cleaner delay sound, so there's a digi pedal. Should be coming in a minute actually, with any luck. Listen out for the doorbell. How many? Oh yeah, how many calories in a peanut butter sandwich? You definitely do want to know. The fibre on the salad's better. What's this job thing I keep hearing about? Says Professor Dick to me. Well, you have a great job. You've got an amazing job. I'm guessing you must be working, and with this one in the background. John Simpson lost 5 stone with Slimming World. Fantastic, mate. That's incredible. And then the pandemic came and back came some of the weight. Here we go again. Yeah, I think that's the trouble. I mean, I've lost some weight. I've still got a little bit of weight to go. I wasn't ever overweight, but I've definitely, since I've ended up working from home a lot, there's clearly nothing to do with hot cross buns and Jacob's cream crackers whatsoever. I don't know where it's coming from, but obviously I've got heavier and I just bounce around really backwards and forwards. I did find if you eat when you're hungry rather than eat when you're not, which sounds weird, right? But you know, lovely family are married and Luna May eats at sensible times and there's food and we try and sit down for dinner and, you know, have a family dinner. So you are eating when you're not necessarily hungry. This wasn't meant to be a Weight Watchers stream, but I do want to know in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich how many calories. So we're gonna get going on MyFitnessPal, and we shall find out before we hit the modular. 12,000 steps a day helps if you have a dog. Well, we do have a dog. Dog doesn't walk that much though. It's got quite a nice garden to run around in. Because we're in the countryside, so there's, you know, we're right in it really. There's a little forest that they can take her out, but the garden's big enough to get exercise. She's only a little dog, and steps kind of up and down the stairs in the house, I guess. White carbs, big calories. Says Original Synth. That's fabulous. White carbs. So basically, back to the hot cross buns again. Let me see. So I'm going to add some food, peanut butter, and jelly. I guess that's jam, isn't it? For us UK guys. I don't know. It's an odd mix for someone in the UK to put peanut butter and is it like raspberry jam or something? Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, homemade. My word, is 432 calories. So I think if you're on a pretty extreme calorie limited type of diet, you're 1,200 calories, 1,400 calories. So that's a third to a quarter of your daily calories. That's cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, if you have 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in a day, you're done. Actually, how much calories is in a hot cross bun? I haven't looked for a while. Probably don't want to. Let's have a look. Hot cross bun. Okay, so a hot cross bun, there's plenty, varying in sizes in terms of thing, but it's a rough one. Sounds like it's about 200 calories. So basically, peanut butter and jelly sandwich or 2 hot cross buns. I'm making them look big here because they're near the camera, but I mean compared to my face, I suppose they are quite big, but you know they're not the massive bun. You know, that's not good calorific value, is it? I could do something bigger for that amount of calories. So basically, if I eat 4 of these buns, 6, 8, I'm 3/4 of the way through my daily calorie intake, at least half anyway. Wow, I'm a bit shocked again there. Actually, without boring you too much, a Jacob's cream cracker while I'm here, whilst I've got it open. Jacob's cream cracker. 35 calories in 1 cracker. So if you eat 10 crackers, that's about a third of your intake as well. So basically what you shouldn't do is eat a whole pack of hot cross buns and a whole pack of Jacob's cream crackers, because that's just it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Anyway. Also, what are we saying? They can also contain a small percentage of insects and rats. Wow. What food in general. I suppose it must have a small percentage of everything, really. Aquatic Borealis says, I was lean and mean for most of my life, slowly gaining weight now. I think it's an age thing as well, isn't it? There is a minimum level of insects allowed, and it varies for different foods. 10 mil I eat once a day and drink soda all day long. Yeah. When I was in, last time I was in the US, I was in Atlanta. And generally there seemed to be quite a lot of overweight people. And there wasn't much healthy food that you could go. So I'd go for lunch or we'd go for a sandwich. It would be massive. It would be like, it wouldn't really be a sandwich. It would just loads of bread and fillings and stuff. But what I did notice is that you got free refills on your sugary drinks. So you could get a big old cup of drink or whatever for a couple of dollars or whatever, and then you could just refill forever. And quite a few people were just addicted to the sugary drinks, whether it's Coke or whatever. But and a couple were saying to me, that's their letdown. That's the thing. That's the, you know, I can kind of control my appetite, but these free kind of drinks keep me coming back. So that's one way to do it, the amount of sugar in those things as well. Original Sense, I'm like Kent in some respects, skinny no matter what I eat. According to one doctor, it's due to brown fat, which turns calories into instant heat instead of storing it. Okay, so if white fat is buns, bread, white bread, brown fat would be unprocessed bread maybe? Instant heat. Some people are like that, aren't they? I mean, particularly as you grow up. Generally, people like me start putting on weight in later life because they get less exercise and they trough too much. Basically, eat too much, get fat. Don't eat too much, get thinner. And I know it's not that simple for many people as well. But refills are free in Canada. Yeah, absolutely, Kurt. That threshold wasn't zero, says Failed Music. I've been on a gluten-free diet all my life, so wheat and barley and oats I can't eat. Wheat is a huge weight gainer. Bread and pasta. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Luna May's just had a gluten allergy test because she's had a few. Would think that she's allergic to something that she eats sometimes, but we're not quite sure. It's not a bad allergy as well. She grew up really allergic to eggs, which cut out loads of stuff that she could eat, and she's grown out of it. So literally, when she was about 9, suddenly she was able to eat eggs, which is brilliant. But there's still a few little things left that she might be allergic to, which we can't find. So they just done a test for that. My friend Tony has celiac. I nearly said syphilis then, but I actually meant celiac disease, which is intolerance to gluten, isn't it? I think. And he went to live in Thailand for a few years, and honestly, zero reaction to anything. There's no gluten in their food. Ironically, the only food that would set him off is any of the restaurants out there catering to tourists, where they put like really sauce all over the steaks and all that kind of stuff. But general Thai diet that you would eat every single day of life is pretty much gluten free. It's a great place for him to live. Very cheap as well. Just need to do every day a short workout with Pamela. Talking of Pamela, she's behind me in the rack. I have some Marmite. Kev Human, I got some Marmite peanut butter. It was cheap. I'm not a Marmite kind of guy. Hey, Ionian Echoes, lovely to see you. Right, what should we do? What shall we do? I can get back into the modular vibe. Oh, I know what I do have to do. There's a Inky teaching MPC later. And I need to just do up a quick thumbnail, so you can join me whilst I do a thumbnail. Let's see what we can do. Hang on a second. We were going to go out and get some pumpkins today, but I think we're going to do it tomorrow. There's no Sonic State tomorrow. I think Nick can't make it tomorrow, so that'll give us a bit more time on in the day to get some pumpkins. White bread should be frozen then toasted, or just thrown away. Well, I know. Does that help, or is that just to stop it going off? I mean, it is. When I discovered you could freeze sliced bread and then toast it straight from the freezer, it was there was a moment. Moment of more calories. Hey, Ian J. Cole, welcome to the stream. We're not really doing much. Original synth, MPC music, MIDI production, cat. Well, it could be. It's a music production console. MIDI production console. I think it was MIDI originally, wasn't it? Yes, no Sonic State tomorrow. Even if I'm not on Sonic State, I tend to do a bit of coding in the background to try and keep the chat going across all the platforms. So we can do some pumpkins instead tomorrow, which would be cool. Kevin says it breaks down the complex starch. If you freeze bread, it breaks down the complex starches. Not that I don't believe you. Bread breaks down starches. That's something I was saying that I would have heard of it. Because just like cooking and cooling, freezing also turns starch into resistant starch. Amazingly, this means that your body gets fewer calories from the bread. In effect, the resistant starch feeds your gut bacteria rather than feeding you. How amazing. I've got 10 things that you may not know about carbohydrate, and I shall see if I can share my screen in this ridiculous... hang on. A window capture, that'll do. Here we go. No, not a window capture, I want a stream capture, hang on. Go. Ten things we may not know about carbs, including a real shocker on the frozen bread, a cracker test. You can come out with a really easy test you can do at home to find out how many carbs you should eat. Try chewing on a cracker until it changes in taste to become a bit more sweet. Or it may be some other flavour taste. If the taste changes in under 30 seconds, then you can probably process carbs okay. Under 15 seconds is pretty good, but if the cracker hasn't changed taste after 30 seconds, then Dr. Molam thinks you should be eating a lower carb diet because your body isn't processing them, which can lead to waist gain and health problems. Waste gain as well. How does this test work? Well, there's an enzyme in your saliva that breaks down starch into glucose sugar molecules, which is why the cracker can taste sweet. So you take a cracker until it changes in taste to become a bit more sweet. Okay, well, I'm up for that because it just so happens I have a cracker and a stopwatch. All right. Just 1 second. Okay. Jeremy Hunt remains Chancellor. I never mentioned the election. Last time we were chatting like this, she just resigned, having trussed it all up. So now we got a new, just for the guys in the States who are missing out on this, we now have another one. Fifth Prime Minister in the last 8 years or something. And Jeremy Hunt is remaining as Chancellor. What's his face? I can't think of his face. Has also resigned from the cabinet. Funny, Etonian, strange, monocle-wearing person. He's resigned because he has to, really. He's got no more friends, I think, without Boris being there. So, anyway, I'm going to get stopwatch. This is not a political stream. Big stopwatch. All right. Are we ready? sweet. Rees-Mogg. That's a chap. Sorry. Off the mic. I have to say, it doesn't taste sweet at all. How are we doing? 18. Oh. Well, I'm looking at the replay, which says about 25 seconds. Well, actually, I'm up to a minute. It hasn't changed at all. It hasn't changed whatsoever. Dr. Modem thinks you should be eating a lower carb diet. Okay, well, what can I say? That's a bit of a telling kind of take on everything, isn't it? Wow, let me just get this a bit smaller. Well, that's a bit of a shocker, to be honest. Kind of wish I hadn't done that in public. Let's have a look. 303 Cerebral is going to have a go at being PM this afternoon. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. Definitely this week. Ula May's up for it as well. She took a photo earlier where she was dressed as a granny. So I think she was going for the Queen originally, but I think PM would be good. PM would be good. Really now, freezing it does more than preserve. Yes, 10 mil. That's a shocker for me too. Let's just wonder if there's anything else in this list of things. Microwaving and freezing food will turn bad carbs into good ones. So not just freezing. Cooking and cooling turns refined bad carbs into resistant starch. So pop last night's lasagna into the microwave the next day for a more guilt-free way of eating carbs. Our bodies only take around half the calories from this food than they do from refined carbs. In effect, resistant starch feeds our gut bacteria rather than us. So, yeah, preheating something the following day in a microwave is apparently better for your carbohydrates. Kev Human says pea cakes. There's something else in the UK. Pea cakes, so that's kind of... They're, yeah, anyway. Pea cakes are even better, lots of protein, except when they're in the bathroom. 303 Cerebral, it assumes that the mouth produces the same enzymes as the stomach. Yes, I'd like to say that that's probably the reason that my cracker didn't taste sweet, but I think it's probably more down to the fact that I ate a couple of hot cross buns and a couple of crackers earlier today. So I'm doing absolutely fine for carbohydrates, thank you very much. I made, what else is going on here? Just jumped up, so I missed some of the chat. Well, I need to get back to pea cakes. I wonder how difficult it has gotten to buy and sell gear from EU countries from the UK. Personally, I avoid buying from the UK, but I don't know what to expect. Well, yeah, Ionian Echoes. I mean, it's the other way as well. It's crazy. There are taxes to pay on the way in. It's not brilliant. I mean, the cost of bringing something into the UK is a nightmare because of the the VAT costs and all the rest of it. So people just don't bother, I think. So equally from the other side, countries supplying are hard. I mean, if you're going to do it, I guess you have to do it in bulk. If it's music gear, through one of the major distributors, if that's possible. Hang on, just 1 second. Yeah, just dive. Do you want to say hello? This is weekly. Yeah, so I mean, Soma are pushing stuff through the major distributors, and the problem with that you find sometimes is the support side of things. So running some support with Soma over here, it's mainly kind of a repair basis or just a support basis. The stuff doesn't really go wrong, but if someone does have to send something back or get a knob for the machine or something, it can be a bit of a pain. Start paying extra money to do that. I'm sure it's the same for stuff that Kent has to work on. Anything coming in from or components and stuff to repair coming in, it must be a nightmare, absolute nightmare. No doubt he will fill us in, but I do hope you're feeling better, Kent. Does it take longer to receive? Yes. I don't know. It doesn't have to take longer to receive. It's just that it gets trapped at customs, and you have to pay duty. So if you're importing or bringing in quite a lot of stuff, customs will trust you and they'll deliver it as normal and bill you for it. So it doesn't necessarily get held up. It just means that, you'll get a bill. So most companies doing that will get a bill and they'll have to pay it, but it doesn't slow down the delivery, if you like. I think if you're an individual trying to bring in a kit, say from America, you might have some issues. I think kits are exempt from some of the duties, but you have to prove it. It's one of those. Also, I guess some people try and send stuff in with a receipt saying it's not actually worth as much as it is, which is obviously not legal. That's going to trigger all sorts of stuff. Usual rubbish. 10 mil. Anyone else notice the cost of gear rising? You can buy a Vulcan new cheaper than used, and everything is selling out. Yes, I think we have really. And Ionian saying you mean professional sellers, but yeah, second-hand gear filling in forms. No, absolutely. I'm talking about pro manufacturers. Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to get their stuff through. If you're an individual making small modules, it's just a nightmare, I guess. It's a real pain. I mean, again, not a political show, but from a professional UK perspective, we seem to have more problems here than through Brexit than we had before. I'm hoping it's going to settle down, but there haven't been that many advantages to come out of a leave of Brexit compared to there've been plenty of disadvantages in the switching over time. Certainly, we had a company until 5 years ago, something like that, when we sold the company, but it was a large company by the time we built it up. They had about 170 staff, and we set up a company in Poland, in Krakow. So rather than outsourcing IT work to people based over there, we actually set up our own company and employed people. And I think if Brexit had happened, I think it would have killed us, actually. I don't think it would have been possible to continue doing business with lockdown and everything. I think it was bad timing. I mean, the good thing is the company is still going. It was swallowed into a large blue chip international company, which was strong enough to withstand all that stuff, and so everyone who wanted to stay working there kept their jobs, and it was a really, really good outcome. But it was, I don't know as a business model whether that would have worked post-Brexit, all the advantages of employing outside and in the EU and so forth. Originally, again, that would be obviously a save in wages, because wages in Krakow for developers, because it was a university town, so there were a huge amount of very, very, very clever people. And kind of slightly undiscovered when we went over there. We were just introduced into it by a friend, but the wages were pretty comparable by the time we'd finished. Some savings, but obviously, people like Reuters, loads of companies started recruiting in Krakow particularly, and it just pushed all the prices up, so there wasn't that much of an advantage to the whole thing. Excuse me. Golden crackers. Anyway. Let's have a look at what's going on. Hey, Tonal Axis, lovely to see you. Gosh, there's quite a lot of chat going on here. So rewind. Diet in general, we're best looking at what our immediate ancestors were eating and their genetic propensity for digesting certain food stuff. Yes, original sin. You can get these genetic tests now, can't you? I'm pretty sure Mrs. Wigley's just done one. And it kind of tells you your ancestry to a degree. I guess it will give you an idea of perhaps food intolerance type stuff. I hope so. That'd be quite neat to find out. Sophia, my wife, Mrs. Wigley, was born in Portugal, in Madeira. So it'd be really interesting to see ancestrally where her genes lie. All those kind of genes. What are your thoughts on the electron stuff versus a deluge? Aquatic Borealis. Well, I speak as someone who's got an Octatrack and a deluge, and a massive deluge fan from day one. They're two different things, but also electron is not just an Octatrack. I'm also, oh gosh, they can be really similar in some ways. I think if I was on a desert island, I'd take the deluge, and it was if it was the one thing that I had to, take one thing with you. Deluge does it all. It has really good sampling. It has very few limitations in terms of programmability. Some of its limitations are things like it only has stereo out. if you're comparing it to something like the Octatrack, which is a sample player, the Octatrack will mash up samples like crazy, in a much better way than perhaps you can do on the Deluge. But the Deluge is a box that kind of does everything. So a combination of Electron modules will get you close to the Deluge. The synth on the Deluge isn't brilliant, it's perfectly adequate, but obviously there are Electron alternatives to that. It's really hard. I feel quite comfortable with my Octatrack now. It's more expensive than the Deluge by a long way, but it does samples and crossfading, and it has multiple outs and acts like a mini mixer. So if you want all that stuff, if you're trying to interface it with other things, then have a look at those. The Deluge has come on leaps and bounds. I mean, they put so much work into new firmware. They haven't abandoned it. It does 100% more than it did when it first came out in the same box for free, all these upgrades, and now it's getting a display as well. So I would still buy one today if I didn't have one. I think they're amazing boxes, just as Bruce. I first got into it because all I had was in the box stuff, and I wanted to change my workflow up. Literally just change everything. I didn't want to sit down with a computer, play the same chords, stick the same kick drum in, whatever. I thought, I'll just get a box, and it was perfect. And actually, I then made a video about it, and that's what ended up kind of getting into this whole thing to a degree. So I can't knock it at all. Right, let me whiz down quickly. Does it take longer to? Does it take longer to receive a download? No, I don't think it does. They ship super quick. And if you get in touch with Synthstrom, they're very responsive, either through their website or through the Facebook group, and they'll tell you how long the last one shipping into the UK took to come through. It really wasn't that much at all. Hey, Azzy Ahead, lovely to see you. Deluge is so much more immediate, but mine broke. Electron is heavier, but I do like the analog. I think that's a good take on it. I wouldn't say they're unreliable, though. I think it's a shame that yours broke. They're very good at repair if they need to, and they'll get a new one out. But it's a bit like with Soma stuff. It's usually a knob coming loose rather than a fundamental electric problem that goes with those things, and that's true for anything really, to be honest. It's worth a look at the MPC now. I mean, it always was worth a look, but with their recent software updates, the synths and the stuff that's come into it's just really good. It wasn't on a par when the Deluge came out. I'd say it's getting a bit closer now. Let's not look at carbohydrates anymore, shall we? Let's just hide that for a second. Talking of MPCs, I need to do this thumbnail in a second. I'm going to whiz past some of these chats, I'm afraid. Yeah, you can get new screen for the old machine from the Deluge, but you have to send it in. Yes, they haven't started the sending in soon, but the turnaround should be super quick. Lofi Girls is a touch hot. Okay, I will turn it down. We don't want too loud chill out music. All right, we're at 41%, so I'm going to drop it to 33. No, 30. I'll drop it to 30. Maybe too quiet now. Let me know. That's the volume of the chill out in the background. This is a particularly quiet song. Let's see. 30%. Okay. Neanderthal heritage has implications for autoimmune diseases. Yeah, I guess it would do. If you've been eating plants, really, wasn't it? It is weird if suddenly someone out of the blue started saying, I started eating animals. I think you would go, what? The same way that you said, I'm going to start eating cats. It's a bit like banning coffee if it was released today because of stimulant. I definitely use the Deluge if it was working fully as a portable workstation, says Original Synth. Battery, mic, size, weight, not multi-out apart from one OLR split, but nothing else does what the Deluge does for the money. Absolutely. You forget things sometimes about it. It's got a built-in mic, built-in battery, plug a pair of headphones, get on the train. You can literally do an album, chuck some really good samples on there. Synth-wise, it has FM, it has cross-mod stuff in there, and it has subtractive synthesis. I think possibly the source oscillators are perhaps lacking a bit of oomph, but what I've always done is I've just sampled oscillators. Do you know what I mean? I've taken my Juno or my Behringer Moog clone or whatever it is and just sampled the raw oscillators and used them, because you can use samples as oscillators in the synth section, and suddenly you're there, really. You don't have to worry too much, just those and the filter, and you can get some amazing sounds. Plus there's packs from called Boards of Deluge, which are really good. There's some really good synth packs around. Hopefully that music is a little bit better. Dial the music back and the Vox up. Yep, hopefully that's happened. I can dial the Vox up a little bit because I'm kind of mumbling a bit, aren't I? So hold on one second. Okay, let's try that. Tell me if the music is okay. Hey, Azio, hey. Oh, God, that is too hot. Hang on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, what about the Polyend tracker? Polyend play. Yeah, do you know what? I really don't need a Polyend play, but it was one of my favourite things from Berlin. Dean Daughters at Electronic Sounds has one. He's just released a whole pack of samples for it. They are good. They're just, I don't think they're finished yet. I think there's a bit more work on the MIDI, maybe, and some of the sampling. I think the sampling is mono. Does that matter? Probably not to me, to be honest. They're a different beast. They're a different beast from the Deluge, definitely. But as a controller, as something that has some samples inside, you can use it to make beats, but control other stuff. I think they're possibly unbeatable. And there's something about the buttons that you can do it on the Deluge as well, by literally just slide your finger across and all the buttons will come on in a line. But they felt better in Berlin than I remember the Deluge ones doing, so you can really kind of just slide your way around. Original synth saying multi-sampling on the Deluge is great once you find a sound, a source on other synths. Yeah, absolutely. Forget about the multi-sampling as well. That wasn't there at the beginning. So you can literally multi-sample, a piano. Multi-sample meaning, you apply a sample across small ranges of notes across the whole range. So rather than sampling a piano in the middle and expect it to tune across the whole range, you can sample one per note if you want. Hey, Dean, just talking about you and the Polyend play. I think you've just released some samples for it. Someone was saying Polyend play v Deluge. Deluge is not velocity pressure sensitive on its own pads. No, that's correct. That is correct. I mean, you can tap them and dial in, or you can play for an external synth if you want. But no, it isn't. And actually, that is quite annoying, I've got to say. If you want to do MP, that's a bit for the MPC, really. That makes the MPC work quite nicely, where you've got the touch sensitive and the pads makes it more of a groove machine. Oh yes, Boards of Deluge, amazing sound designer. He made a set called Peaks for the Peak Summit, which is just beautiful. And I've got to say, Electronic Sounds Audio, Dean, that's in the chat now, is my favourite. I'd say my favourite percussion sound guy. With the proviso that Jamie is my favourite synth sound guy. I suppose you can split them slightly like that. Dean is a drummer originally, and then he hurt his back, I think, so that he wasn't able to drum so much, but his sonic design on all things drums, percussion, one-shots, synth one-shots, samples, really. Dean's the man. Honestly, if you haven't heard of him, he's the least well-known amazing sound designer in the world, I think, although I think that's changing. More people are finding out about it, but just go check out Electronic Sounds Audio, Dean Daughters. Check out the packs that he's got for sale, because they are insanely good, seriously good. And then obviously on the synth patches rather than sample side, Jamie, Geosynth is your man. Jamie's Summit patches are insane. Absolutely, they're all good. And having seen the workflow that goes into creating that stuff, and actually having seen the workflow that goes in with Dean, you don't throw these things together. They really are an absolute work of love. And considering you have to go out and buy the kit, it's very rare for someone to come along and say, well, can you make me some patches for this? Here's the kit, off you go. You go out and buy the synth, you make the patches. The profit margin on this stuff is low, and they work really, 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 really hard. So yeah, check them out. Really good. I love presets and patches. I do like making sounds, but I really, really love, particularly sample wise. Honestly, electronic sounds make you look good. They really do. And I'm not on commission. I know I've known Dean for a while. I came across him through Facebook, but honestly, like, whoa, how did you do that? Kick drums, man. Another one to check out is F9 Audio if you haven't come across it. He's also fairly well known now, but F9, they do for me, some really good 909 sounds, as if we haven't got enough 909 sounds. But I pretty much guarantee the 909 kits that F9 have done will be the best you've heard. I think they do free trials and stuff as well. They do a bunch of other stuff. They do some really good risers and fallers as well. Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, check out the 909s. Kev Human is using a QY70 as a sequencer. Well done indeed. Electronics, no, please don't pay me. That would ruin the fact that I endorse you for nothing. That's absolutely crazy. No, thank you though. I just bought $50 worth of Dean's pack for this. So that's how much I like them. Yeah. So there's another piece of Electron gear, model samples that I've only recently got into, and I bought his pack so I could just literally fill it up with amazing sounds without having to worry to start with. And boy, does it sound good with those. But that's as a result of having Hostipal on the Sunday live stream, which is a hardware jammer called Hostipal. Hospital backwards. Apparently it's how we used to pronounce Hostipal as a child, but it's probably not the best name to have because everyone can't quite pronounce it or spell it right. But yeah, he had one of these things and was doing a live jam just with this, sitting on a beach, I think, although I think he did the jam in the studio and then filmed a video, to be fair. And I was blown away by the sound of this. It's something I've never even tried before. Touch sensitive pads. The thing about it is, and I'm sure other stuff does this, but it's extremely well laid out. You can nudge the beats off beat, so you can change the groove and the way the whole thing rolls. So rather, you can program it step time on grid and quantize everything spot on if you so wish. But you can also play into it live, and hitting a quantize button won't knock it to the beat. It will move it towards the beat. And you can then dial it away from the beat a little bit. And it's really good at coming up with these wonky but good groovy beats. Because things, they shouldn't be bang on in time unless you're doing a real bang on in time techno style thing. If you're doing something with a bit of movement in it, you kind of want to be programming something that's slightly offbeat, that sounds wrong the very first time and then sounds right because it's the way it should be, if you see what I mean. And this does that. So immediately, it's not just another sampling drum machine type of thing. It has a kind of soul to it if you can be bothered to just mess with the timing a little bit, or just play something in roughly by hand till you like it, and then just move them slightly backwards and forwards towards the grid, and it sounds good. It's obviously one of their lower end, more budget boxes, but it has MIDI, so you can do that kind of stuff. It's got USB, it's got left and right out. That to me is probably the biggest bang for buck that I've seen recently, and I missed out on all these things when they first come out. So I'm the worst person to apart from stuff that I get told about on Sonic State. I completely miss out on new stuff. I always find it's not bad. I always find it several months to a year after they've come out, once the buzz has died down and everyone has it in perspective a little bit. Hey, Neil Wharton. I like the model samples, but sold for a cheap Rhythm Mark 1. Not half as portable, though. That's interesting. That's from Original Synth. Yeah, I've not tried a Rhythm. I think they're the next step up, aren't they? The Rhythm? Something like that. Electronic Sounds just started making a new synthwave pack for the model samples with Tony Duncan. Oh, nice. Tony Duncan's usually around. Oh, hang on a second. We got Mrs. Wiggly calling. I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah, Cycles looks good as well. I don't think I'm not sure they complement each other. They're both kind of drum machines. One's like an FM drum machine with FM synth sounds. The other's a drum machine with samples. Could do if the Cycles was more synth, but I guess it is more synth. I don't know. I looked at them and thought, oh yeah, that's probably a really good, another really good one. And I thought I probably don't need the Cycles with the samples. Gotta be fair, I probably don't need the samples either. But it's such a nice thing to play around with. Really, really good. Sorry, John. Model samples does not sample. It's just. But yes. Sorry. Did I give that? No, it doesn't samples, but you can load samples into it. That's what I meant. If that makes sense. You can plug it in with the USB. So Model Samples does not have a sample button or an input, but you can load your own samples into it. And to be fair, most of the stuff that's a sampler, I don't tend to sample on it. Like the Deluge, I don't sample using the mic. I don't tend to sample using the inputs either. I just sample into a computer, get it sounding perfect. Stick it into Audacity or whatever you want to do, and then transfer it, because I just want to know that there's totally zero crossing on the beginning and the end, and it's optimized and funky, maximum funkiness. Right, electronic sounds is a great way to get started with all that parameter locking. Yes, it is. That's the other thing. I mean, it's only got 6 tracks, this thing, but you could put a different sample on every beat of each of those 6 tracks if you so wished, which is really cool. Really cool. Electron model do seem like a gateway drug. Yeah, absolutely. 10mil is enjoying the super chill music. Lofi Girl on YouTube. You're allowed to run Lofi Girl as long as you credit them, which I may not have credited. Yes, I did credit them. You can run it without copyright strikes, as long as you say music provided by Lofi Girl and link to their playlists. Oh, it's loud again, is it? No. How weird. Alright. Let's try that. 1, 2. Oh man, hang on. I'll turn this down a second. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's try that. Let's see what that does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I wanted to do was do all of these tests during this stream, to be honest, but StreamYard's bailed out on me, so it is streaming, but I don't want to do anything with it in case it kicks me off again. Okay, who knows about the amazing world of Canva? Let me just do. So this is the easiest way to create. Steve A testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to create thumbnails. Original synth at KFU, check out Sebastian Maher's live setup video. A bit overkill, but lots of handy hints. Door based. Nice. Electronic Sound saying, I'm liking the polyend play for sequencing external gear. Yeah, I think that's what we were saying just before you popped up. It is 8 MIDI tracks. I think it's a nice thing to have sitting in front of your rig as a sampler if you're not using a computer. And he still needs to update to the latest version of TR8S. Me too, absolutely. Electronic Sounds uses Canva. Anyway, so tonight at 7. I guess it's 7:30. I haven't checked with Inky. We need to do a lessons on the MPC stream. So, if someone could just tell me this audio is still okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will do a thumbnail quickly. So if I do that, need to make me smaller actually. Let's have a look. These should all really be set up as different settings, but it doesn't really matter because no one's watching. This one, I think, yes. forward. Bit of live OBS for you. If anyone doesn't know what OBS is as well, it's just a live stream. This is the Streamlabs version of OBS. There I am in the corner. And here I am with this screen share of Canva, which is like an online Photoshop with a whole ton of kind of stock imagery and everything associated with it. All right. Steve A, we met at Synthfest. I'm currently awaiting my Lara. Yes, Steve A. Yes. Has it not arrived? Man. Did you order it from in the end? I can't remember. If you get any problems, just pop me leave a comment below. I'll push them to get it out to you, because you ordered it from one of the distributors, didn't you? Let me know and I can always give them a bit of a push. And lovely to see you here as well. Thank you very much for joining. This is a really chilled out kind of Tuesday afternoon, rather stream what I'm doing than do nothing kind of day. Ian Tanner, hello people. Hope all sounds well. Sounds fine here. Good. Thank you for that. And maybe I've actually finally sussed it. Okay, so Canva is basically, like I say, like an online Photoshop. Let me just make a really small version of me, into which they have all of these things, like you can make Facebook posts, mobile videos, photo collages, whiteboards, whatever. And here is a list of all of the things that I've made for pretty much the live streams, bits and pieces, badges you can make, hat stuff and all the rest of it, including, if you missed it, my social media post on the fact that Billy Idol can do a 45-degree sneer, which is insanely brilliant, really, when you think about it. I can't at all, and a few people could get there, but I stuck that on Facebook, and people were attempting it. It's very, very hard. So if you're at home, no one watching, see if you can do a 45-degree sneer, not a snare. All right, so Inky the cat had this. And I realised now that you can't see the top and the bottom, so all I'm going to do is change the way that these sit. And I'll just put up another video. So bring these down. And it's so easy to do. Whoops. So easy to do. So and all of these are like stock images that you've got. Let's do this. And of course it's all online, so you don't have to worry about anything kind of editing them where, opening it up on a different computer and worrying what's up. Make that a bit bigger. I mean, this really isn't a top thumbnail, but it will do. Because we have a very specialist audience of NPC people. Electronic Sounds has a message held for review. I can't do it, but I look an arse trying. I wonder what that was talking about. Oh, doing the doing the sneer. Absolutely. Hey, corrosive abuser, lovely to see you. Yeah, anyone could do a 45-degree snare. They deserve to be. Deserve to be flipping pop star. Somebody just did something because I heard a bong, but unfortunately the alert box was off the bottom of the screen, so I don't quite know what happened. Let's have a look. Di Stanton has followed the channel. Thank you so much. Di Stanton has followed on Facebook. Interesting. That's one thing that StreamYard does that the YouTube stuff doesn't, which I thought would be really, really useful. All right, so now we just have to share this, download it, and we're off. The jingo, there we go. So now I just need to create a new live stream for tonight. And don't forget, obviously, we've also got Smash tomorrow as well, which is going to be really cool. Let's do this. Nearly there. I think that's probably it for now. So that's good. What else is going on? Oh yeah, I've still got the modular sitting behind me. We can have a look at that in a second if you fancy that. I've got all of the volumes and mixing desk stuff kind of sorted in there. Not sure what anyone else is up to today. Original Synth, the new Jar album was surprisingly nostalgic. Zuluk, Oxygen, Magnetic Fields all popping up. Cool, I'm not a follower of Mr. Jar. Kev Human was listening to Orbital mods earlier. The synths took me way back. Yes. Orbital's always struck me as quite a sort of random sound band. As in, you know, Happy Accidents coming out and sounding great. I'm not knocking them in the slightest, but it's a very slight. They make rhythms and riffs that I wouldn't come up with in my head. So if they did come up with them in their head, that's really cool. It's a different way of thinking, really. They sound to me like they've been happy accidents, and then they've gone, yes, that's the one, and they make amazing tunes. Canva looks good. I'm going to give it a try. Yeah, sorry, I'm always assuming that these people, you know, everyone knows about them. I mean, yeah. Let me just pop back once again and just show you from scratch. It's I think there's a free one. There's also a subscription package. It's really, really successful. Let me do this for a second. And I didn't really give you the full on. This is amazing. If I go back to the beginning, home, and say, I don't know, let's do a YouTube thumbnail, which is what we've just done, which are usually 720 by, I can't remember. Anyway, it sized it ready for me, so it's ready to go. There's a ton of templates that you can choose from this left-hand side. So if you want a business strategy one, you can load that, for example. There's an undo on everything, which is just brilliant. Or you could start from scratch. So you could say, okay, let's find a video. So here's a video, a picture of me and Gaz from Synthfest. So I can put this in, resize it to this. And then let's say I want to add some elements. So in the elements section, and give Gaz a hat. You can save them as moving GIFs or whatever. So there's Gaz with a hat. We can give me a pumpkin. Whoa, that's way too big. A little pumpkin. Or they don't have to move, obviously. Or you could say, right, what do I want? Let's try maybe a lawnmower. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to lawnmower Gaz's beard, get rid of his hat. And then what we could do is we could add a witch for Halloween. So we'll give Gaz a witch's hat instead. Give him a pumpkin over there. Put this pumpkin up here. You know, you get the idea. Pot of stuff going on down there. And you can make videos by streaming these together, so you can add another page and animate it in and out. What else can you do? There's loads of clever stuff. If you've got an image, you can, with the images actually, you can remove the background sometime as well. So if I edit that and say background remover, let's see what it does, because that's quite a hard image to remove the background on. Let's see what it does. It's thinking That's not bad. That's really not bad. Really not bad. I've got it in as the background at the moment, so I'd need to remove it to put something behind it. Let me see if I can do that. Can I do that? Can't quite remember how that works. I can't. But, you get the idea. You can add stuff like I was messing around with Robin from Molten Modular doing thumbnails. And you can throw something like that together in literally about 5 minutes when he was talking about doing his stream for how much the money he was spending on energy bills. And that's literally, find a few bits and pieces and cut them out, stick them online. So yeah, if you haven't come across Canva, take the 30-day free trial. Give it a go. Again, it's not me. I don't think I get any commission for doing this. I might even have a commission link somewhere. But it's really super fast, and it's one of those websites that I've just end up using all the time. The idea that you can flip back and you can go, okay, well, I've got another Sunday live stream to do, so I need to quickly throw something together. I can open last week's one, which was with the amazing Mark McGee. And then I can change the background, or I can do whatever I want. There's in backgrounds, there's loads and loads. So if you want to change the background to some strawberries, or whatever they are, or multicoloured stuff, or glitter, it's insanely brilliant. So anyway, I've now done Inky's stream for tonight, so I will hide this. I need to get that set up, ready to go. So I need to find out from Inky what time she wants to do the stream, but I'm presuming it's going to be the same as last time. And for streaming, I use a website called StreamYard. So if you want to check out I do have a link for StreamYard, which gives me $10, I think. What does it say? Invite your friends to StreamYard. They get $10 in credit. Once they've spent $25, you'll get $25. So you get $10 off. So here's my invite link if you wanted to join StreamYard and you haven't already. And StreamYard is just streaming software. I highly recommend it over this Streamlabs at the moment until they actually fix StreamYard. The ideal MIDI controller is the 12-channel fader Fox one, I think, but it's expensive AF. Yes, it is. It's good. They do the knobbed version and the slider version, don't they? It's a FX something 12, PC 12 and FX 12, I think. Kev Human just got a Blofeld. Thankfully, it seems okay. The encoders work, at least, combining it with a Preen FM2 and a Micro Monster 2. Nice. Has anyone got any? Oh dear. What's it called? Dreadbox synths. I've never had, and everyone I speak to is just like, oh my god! Like they're, I think one of the Dreadboxes was Gaz's Desert Island disc, the Desert Island synth, and I think the same for Nick. He's got a couple there. I was lucky enough at Synthfest this year to meet the Greek guy. They're a Greek company. The guys behind it, lovely people. But I'm very tempted to sell something and try out a Dreadbox. They do seem to be in short supply, and I wondered which one everybody likes, to be honest. Typhon from Electronic Sounds. Blofeld is a little monster, but not using it need to cache. Oh, it's Don Solaris' sound bank. Don Solaris is someone I've known for ages on Gearspace. He did some amazing work on the JD990, a Rebus 3 and a Nix 2 from Di Stanton. That sounds like a nice collection. I think it was the Erebus that Gaz was so in love with. I think so. See if I can find the stream that he was on first. Hang on a second. I mean, I know they were asking which one's best. It's kind of stupid, isn't it? Because they all do different things. Knowing Gaz, it's probably bass oriented. Let's have a look. It was the stream. Where are we? Was it the Bitwig one? Geosis, no, it was the one before that. Hold on. Gaz Williams, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let me just push this up onto the screen.
Somebody bought one. Every single demonstration I do.
There he is.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and I think it's a difficult one, but I think it might be.
There you go. It's the Dreadbox Erebus.
It's just so perfect in what it does. I love it. It sounds great. It's quite simple, but it's hard to make it sound bad. It's just lovely, and it's vibey. But I mean, it's behind me. The Super 6 is such a wonderful instrument that I feel.
Okay, so it's the Erebus. I think he said it was a Mark II.
So quite recent.
Let's just grab this out the way. There you go. Yeah, Erebus Mark II. Erebus V2. That's right. So I think that's kind of like a on my list, really. Hey, Andrew Brooks, lovely to see you. He's off out to Huddersfield EMOM in a bit. Oh, fantastic. Big up the Huddersfield EMOM. Let's find out more about that. Yeah, so if anyone knows much about the Dreadbox Erebus, Gaz loves his Erebus. Gaz indeed is an Erebus fanboy. Does anyone have one? Di Stanton, Erebus is a fat synth with a nice echo. Was that one of the ones that you had on your list? Erebus 3. Right, what's the difference between the 3 and the 2? I think the company was saying not much, but I don't know if anyone can hear it. Fat synth with a nice echo. Nix has a killer reverb. Yeah. I've read about that. Nix has a killer reverb. V2 is just back as a Euro rackable boxed version. Shame about the US power for me with the Typhon and most of the new ones. Need for a quality USB. I thought that was a Euro rackable box. It's a kit, isn't it? Let's just check Dreadbox again. Because there's low. I mean, prices. Hang on. Prices Erebus Dreadbox. Prices were pretty high. I mean, you know, second-hand prices were more than new. Does it have a search? Oh man, where's the search? Products. Might as well go here. Synths. Erebus 3 was designed to replace our most recognisable, discontinued. But I'm pretty sure there was a kit when I was researching this. Erebus analog synthesizer, a reissue of Dreadbox's most iconic synthesizer, the Erebus. Eurorack compatible snappy envelopes, USB powered, which is what you're saying, and a more compact format. Available in desktop format and as a DIY kit in November 2020. Yeah, in November. Doesn't say Eurorack. I guess anything's Euro-rackable, but it doesn't really have any more detail. Let's have a look. Accept. Oh, it looks like it might be that kind of a size. No price. So that's kind of cool. If you are interested in an Erebus new or as a kit, it could be a good cool kit to build. A cool kit. Let's get rid of that for a second. What else have we got? Used to be. Hold on. Erebus. It could well be pronounced Erebus. It's just a bit like the deluge should be pronounced deluge, not deluge, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. There was a comment about starting with radio. I used to be a radio station techie, and that was my modular setup. I'm so sick of writing and rewiring. I've no real interest in modular per se, though I am learning the crave, and it's chunky. Yeah, fair enough. Mr. Wiggle is becoming the afternoon coffee shop version of Ken. Well, I think it's nice. I mean, I'll try and get this on a more regular basis and try and make it less about me just chatting. It's kind of cool to have something on in the background. It was going to be a Twitch stream, but clearly to have me on in the background, particularly if I'm trying to put something together on the modular or whatever, or just learning something, I think would be kind of cool really. Just like I said at the beginning, it's like I always put YouTube on in the background if I'm doing stuff. So I'd rather put YouTube on with me on it rather than listen to. I'm kind of running out of YouTube videos on psychotic killers and all that kind of stuff, which I've been watching all the time, and it stops me eating hot cross buns as well. Erebus V3 goes for about $350 on eBay. Is that right? V2 versus V3, probably not that different, but you get the third oscillator with the V3. Okay. So with this new version, third oscillator is a must, I would say. This new version that they've got up here looks like it only has 2 oscillators. Is the third one like a real one, or is it a subdivide of one of the other oscillators or something? Let's have a look. Why am I asking? Dreadbox Erebus V3 picture. Okay, let's see. So the V3. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's completely different. So the one that we were talking about just now as a kit is very different. Okay, so it doesn't have the third. So this is a remake of the one, I guess, the kit version. Oh, it's also complicated. It's also a gateway drug into modular, isn't it? Look at all of that. Goodness. Simple though. As in, looks simple on the face of it. So from now on, we're going to pronounce it Erebus. Erebus. V3 has surface-mounted components. V2 is through-hole. Okay, thank you, Steve A. Corrosive Abusive. I use a big old USB battery for USB hub. That's a great idea, Dean from Electronic Sound, saying he uses a big old USB battery for USB power for there is no hum. Absolutely. Tonal Axis has the DIY Erebus. Sounds amazing. There must have been an original DIY one before this new DIY one, I guess. Quite like building kits and stuff like that. Personally, or Aquatic Borealis, personally love Hyperion Soft Synth, which has a lot of modular functionality. It sounds very good. Cool. Andrew Brooks, tonight's show is at Arcade Beers on Station Road in Huddersfield. So if you're in Huddersfield or close by and you fancy seeing a whole bunch of electronic music performers, including Andrew Vonal. I'll tell you what, my brain and mouth are not connected. It's at Arcade Beers in Huddersfield, which is 6 Station Street, HD1 1LN. No real ale is not available, apparently. Don't know about that. But pop down to see it. It closes at 10 p.m. tonight, apparently. Can't be right. I'm sure it'll open later. And it's one of the nicest bars in Huddersfield with fab staff, great atmosphere, and a firm favourite according to the top Google reviews. So that sounds like a good one. I don't know if you've left yet, Andrew Brooks, but what you're going to be taking with you, I presume, is a slimmed down Eurorack setup. Hey to Crosshead. Lil Erebus is Eurorack. Got one of those too, Dice Danny. Okay, Di, I might have to hit you up with some questions on Erebus and Dreadbox, because you seem to have lots of them and a lot of knowledge about that. So prepare for incoming mail if you don't mind. Steve A, the new one, V2 copy, was at Synthfest. Yeah, I didn't get out to see it. I think Rob Fatdust, who was working with me, did, and he's a massive fan of that stuff as well. Still surface mount components. The new one is in a plastic box. Okay, so they're kind of moving backwards, I guess, in terms of manufacturing costs. There are new ones coming out soon. Yeah, I hope so, because everything's stopped. So I'm guessing there'll be new ones coming through, as long as they've not been hit by the component shortage. Hyperion allows you to... As I start reading a chat thing, it whizzes off up. Hyperion allows you to build modular patches, which you can use in other patches and then also layer in other patches. It gets crazy. It sounds mad. I'd also check out the Fractals Brenzo oscillator if you're after that saturated analog sound in Euroland. Fractals are my new favourite people. They made the mixing section of the modular that I've just been putting together. I did have a very quick look at their other offerings, and I didn't look much further. I mean, nothing wrong with them in the slightest, but they were like, wow, this looks amazing. Can't afford it. Here is a Brenzo. Let's make it bigger for you, hold on. Is telling me what the definition of Brenzo is, but not much about what it does. Brenzo, primary analog source of articulated waveforms whose degree of entanglement can be precisely set by the musician. It's a concept developed from a reflection on the very meaning of the word complex, which comes from the Latin plector. The generation section allows control over two triangle core oscillators which can be modulated and synced both internally and externally. FM can be any combination of exponential and or linear through zero. Okay, it should appeal to Robbie Pioricelli through zero FM. Okay, I mean I like the look of these things as well. Nice looking beast. Let's have a bit of a close up. Yes. Let's catch up a bit on chat because I'm way behind. All the new DIY of Dreadbox are Eurorack sides. Oh cool, John Alchemy, hello to you. There's a new filter module called the Parasite Anti-Filter. It's super aggressive. The Parasite Anti-Filter. So good, these names. If you mean frap, I'm just having a look. They have Brenzo and Uster, Felistri. I can't be a frap. Their names are too sensible. I mean, they're not sensible, but they're more sensible than that. Let's have a look. Stupid question. Can I use a TRS 3.5mm cables with the Craves TS sockets? Okay, first time. I have lots of TRS and no TS. Visit to signal sounds imminently but currently skint. Can I use TRS 3.5mm cables with the Craves TS sockets? Okay, I think you can, but I'm guessing. Yes, I would say so. I don't know if anyone's answered you in chat afterwards. Do check, but that is my. And I don't think it would harm if you just pop them in and see what happened. Talking about outputs, right? Audio outputs. So pop them in and see what happens, and it should be okay. All this talk of modern synths, where's the vintage at? Says Failed Muso. Yeah, there's plenty of vintage. Just got off on a modern tip, I suppose. I was meant to go and do some modularing. I think I just get sidetracked, but I will do. I think if I do a stream tomorrow, post pumpkin. There's a farm up the road with a big field of pumpkins that we're going to go and pick some in the morning. So I'll line up a proper stream tomorrow afternoon where I'll do some modular stuff, have a chilled out afternoon, and do what I was intending to do today, because I started a bit late as I was trying to wire everything up and get the cameras working. But I think we've made it work. If it wasn't for the problem with Streamlabs, which I'm inclined to even give it another go tomorrow, it can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. There's so much that it does that would be super useful. So I'll do another one. And there's no Sonic State tomorrow afternoon as well, because Nick's away, or he's out, unfortunately. So we'll fill a gap there if anyone wants to watch here instead. We could maybe get a few people in, maybe through the Discord chatting or whatever would be quite nice. I quite like these afternoons. It's 5 to 5. It's nearly the end of the working day. Tomorrow I'll start hopefully about 1. And we can see how it goes. I want a MIDI kazoo. I guess there can't be a MIDI kazoo. There should be a MIDI kazoo. Electric kazoo through a pitch to MIDI converter from someone in 2010 who should have known better. MIDI kazoo in Reddit. Such an awesome concept, but in my experience these real-time audio to MIDI converters have something left to be desired. If all you're doing is plugging a kazoo into an audio to MIDI, I don't know if that's going to work very well. Let's just see if I share this. Oops. Unfortunately, this is too old. From the look of it, I'm still working on software to make an inexpensive MIDI kazoo for everyone. This page will change radically when that's available. Thanks for checking in. Comic Sans. The prototype MIDI kazoo was made by attaching a guitar pickup to a kazoo and connecting that pickup to a guitar to MIDI converter. The guitar to MIDI converter will take any tone heard from a guitar pickup on the kazoo and convert that to a MIDI message. That seems to be a very, very complicated method. However, this is copyright 2012, so I guess at the time that was probably quite a good idea for a MIDI kazoo. Should have a kazoo in this box. Kazoos are vital to every Mr. Wiggly stream. No, it's not in that box. I thought, look, proper kazoo box. Whoops. There you go. Proper kazoo. Metal kazoo is. However, I seem to have 3 empty. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to Google how to play a kazoo, because I always forget. It's a bit like the Octatrack. Every time I get the Octatrack out, I can never remember without the manual. How to play a kazoo like a pro.
Hi guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Siddharth and today I'm going to give you 5 easy steps which will help you play kazoo.
The mouse is going
like
wrong
a champ.
too.
For all those who don't know what is kazoo and they are curious to know about what kazoo is.
Come on, I just need to know. Okay.
Try the same.
So it's this then. Oh!
As the sound comes through humming.
I think I've
Humming
discovered the
is what
secret to our
vibrates
kazoo antics where we failed
the better
so
you sing,
dismally on the
you play.
stream. It's
So
you
pick
do
up
the
some of
fat
your
end.
favorite tunes and start singing. And then try the same on kazoo.
So I'm not convinced you'd be able to get a pitch to MIDI out of that. Maybe a contact mic or something to get the vibration. We'll try though. Anything for Cresshead who wants a MIDI kazoo. We'll give that a go. That can be a project, an afternoon project for this or next week. The midifying a kazoo. I'll set up a pitch to MIDI and we can see if we can make it work. Check out Flight of Harmony's Parasite Anti-Filter on YouTube. Okay, so it's a Flight of Harmonies. Okay.
Number 1. This is the most
Flight of Harmonies. Flight of Harmonies Parasite Anti-Filter. Anti-filter demo. Don't know if they've got a YouTube, a website, but it's on. I think it's on Modular Grid. Parasite Anti-filter, self-oscillation feedback beast. A self-oscillation feedback beast. Let me just make this page a bit bigger. There it is in all its glory. Two months for all the parts to arrive, then assemble and fulfillment details to be confirmed. $239 assembled. It's a second order cascaded parametric equalizer. Both can be fed with it. Self-oscillation feedback. So you feed stuff into it, and it cascades and feeds back on itself. Out one is from the first stage, out two is from the second stage. Both can be used simultaneously for a stereo-esque signal. The feedback knob controls the amount of output fed back to the input, and the feedback toggle chooses if it's from out one to out two. The infest switches are wholly serendipitous and defy explanation. Just know that they're there for a good reason, which is readily apparent when you use them. Infest 1 affects the first stage, Infest 2 affects the second. Wow. There's serendipity for you. Well, that looks pretty cool. Big ups to Andrew Brooks from Electronic Sound. Good luck tonight with your incredible EMOM. You seem to be at an EMOM every week at least, which is fantastic. One second. Let me just try and catch up. Man, I'm so behind. Let me just whiz through and catch up in the chat because I'm so far behind. Goodness me. How much more chat have I missed? Okay, so we're back to the TRSs. Let's have a look. Nix NYX has a drone switch which holds the VCA open. Every synth should have one. Yes, I agree. The Lyra has one of those. My 104 6U new case and the BeatStep Pro. Nice! 104 6U. That's kind of proper EMOM style. This is Andrew Brooks' modular case that he's taking. He started off with a massive case, kind of similar in size to this. Can you see it? 3 tier 1 behind me. Yeah, that's much more manageable. And a Volca FM to keep Robbie happy. What else is going on? Slap the like, thank you for that. Brenzo is basically booklet style complex VCO using saturated Moog sounds. Nice. My modules are all very simple compared to that, says Electronic Sounds. I agree. I'm going backwards. I still haven't found a modular system that I'm particularly happy with. I think last week I said if I can't get this one going, I think I'll just go back to something else. But it's been a journey. Hey, Inky, hello to you. Inky, can you tell me what time you want to be on tonight? And I will put up the coming shortly page onto YouTube. The new stuff will be vintage, just wait. Yes. I think through-hole component stuff will be the vintage stuff, or at least stuff that doesn't have a processor in it, because anything with a processor in it can generally be replicated, like the old Star Wars machines or anything like that. Through hole stuff, dare I say it, Soma type of stuff, modular stuff that you see, definitely the new vintage. Di Stanton, I'd be thinking about an IntelliGel Atlantis as a Eurorack all-in-one voice. My fave. That's nice. Universal Vibe. Mr. Wiggly has a deep meditation voice going on right now. Yeah. Could do an ASMR stream. I shall crinkle the sound of a hot cross bun wrapper. And relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120 see the new mini jack design for Dolby Atmos. It's TRS. No, I didn't. Anyone try to Shaper Box 3? Arabus has a mental 3-way ring mod. Wow. John Alchemy, I think your chat is a bot behind. Try refreshing your browser. No, people didn't notice. No, I'm behind. I'm totally behind. Also, the chat isn't working in Streamlabs, so I'm actually seeing the chat at the same time as you guys as well. So we should be all right, I think. Right, see you, Andrew Brooks. I'm catching up. Kazoo pairs well with a Swanee whistle. Funny you should mention that. We got everything for the Sunday live stream, I tell you. Sonos G2M will do pitch to MIDI. Comb and paper. Yeah, comb and paper is pretty much what a kazoo does, I think. Has everybody seen the Camdordian? No. Everyone but me. Camodordian. Cambodia. No, Camodor. What's a Camodordian? Not showing up. Camodordion. Literally nothing. So you're going to have to explain that one. That was from Homegrown. It might have been a dream, to be honest, or a spelling mistake. Hey Dom, you know that video about how dubstep was discovered? It's an old one though. The kazoo was just reminding me about it. Oh, cool. Yeah. And also, it's not dubstep, but for dub reggae, it's the oh god, what's it called? The old school synth that you blew down and you hold the keys. Really want one of those as well. Go check out how dubstep was discovered on YouTube. Oh, brilliant! It's Thursday for MPC lessons. I thought I was getting it wrong. Thank you, Inky. Thank you. 7 p.m. on Thursday, so I'll put the thing up after this. I'm going mad. So tomorrow at 9, and I will be putting the thing's already up for this, but I'll be doing a bit of promo tomorrow for that, is the serious stream about mental health and addiction, which I highly recommend you pop in for 2 minutes if you're put off in any way, because Ollie is very open, honest, entertaining, and quite a special guy actually. So worth a look. 9 p.m. serious stream. Definitely not chill out and laid back, but if you're at all worried or involved with or suffering from any mental health issues, whether they be depression or whatever, or any addiction issues, come and meet a group of like-minded folk who are just chatting, really, asking questions. Ollie has kind of overcome a lot of that, still in that process of recovery, but is a good person to bounce questions or ideas off, I guess, as are many people in the chat. And we've definitely helped some people, which is good. So that'll be 9 p.m. tomorrow, if you want to check it out. I will do another one of these streams, I think, with any luck. Melodica, that's right, Cresshead. Yeah, it's called a melodica. A MIDI melodica would be ace, mind you. Yes. Yeah, there's a certain sound to those melodicas which is just amazing, absolutely amazing. And the Akai Iwi as well from Universal 5, absolutely. Why did I think it was Tuesday for NPC lessons? I think because Inky sent me a message this morning reminding me to update the NPC. That's probably why. Well, that's cool. That gives me this evening to prepare everything for a decent stream tomorrow about modular or something, which will be quite cool. And I've caught up with chat, which is really cool. And we've got a few people watching, so that's kind of cool. Really good. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope this kind of laid-back idea is working. The dubstep video is having a laugh with dubstep, but it's funny, says Azio. Yeah, I think I'll watch it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but not for a long time. Maybe we could do a watch through tomorrow as well. That'd be kind of cool. So let me just save that, and we can have a look tomorrow. You need a nice reverb for melodica. Yes, absolutely. I'm ready for my MPC's lessons. Oh, cool, Universal Vibe. That's great. Yeah, if you do have an NPC, I tell you what, if you didn't see last Thursday's edition, it's worthwhile watching if you've got an NPC and you've never made it work. I have Inky's NPC, and I could never quite get my head around it, but both me and Kent Spong jumped on the stream and we were making beats, proper beats, within about 15 minutes, which is great. Hey Spliffo Smith, thank you for joining. Good to see you. So yeah, it was really cool. So and I've realised now, I did an afternoon stream on the Thursday, which wasn't that long ago, because Thursday evening we then went and did the NPC stream, and I was thinking it hasn't been a week since the last one. So yeah, now I'm working out what's going on. Anything else anyone want to touch on? It's the end of the working day because I started late. It's gone 5 o'clock. So people are going to be in the UK. They're going to be winding up from their work. They're working from home. They'll be winding up. I'm going to be winding up in a minute. But hopefully, if you're around tomorrow and you want to pop in and say hello, we'll do something similar, but with something with a bit more of a point to it. Always laid back. Always something that you can watch in the background and ignore for most of the time, but drop in and out of. Not calorie oriented. But don't forget, if you've not come across canva.com, check that out. If you've not come across StreamYard.com, check that out. That's a good streaming one. And check out the dubstep video as well, which was I think it's called How Dubstep. If you Google How Dubstep Was Invented YouTube, I think that'll take you there. Slightly tongue-in-cheek look at the way that whole thing works. Universal vibe. As far as mental health goes, there are so many different cofactors affecting one's own health. Some are even foodborne allergies. I became certified in a field related to this. That's good to know, universal vibe. That's really good to know. We don't pretend to be certified in absolutely anything. It's more of a self-help opportunity. To be fair, the Wednesday stream is probably more help for Ollie in terms of letting him chat in a slightly guided way through stuff than it is, for anyone else. That everyone else is a bonus, and we've certainly had a few people get in touch and made changes and taken steps, which is fabulous. If only one person did that, then it would be worthwhile. But I'm very, very keen to point out that we're not professionals in any way whatsoever, and it's really just listen to Ollie's stream of consciousness and see where it goes and see where it takes people in the chat, if they can relate to that, or if they want to ask him about how he dealt with stuff or what it's like. Cresthead, hope to finish the main page design of the MS1 book tonight. Cresthead's books, if you haven't seen them, man, they're really, really good. Really, really good. I didn't know there was an MS1 book coming out. Let me see if I can post a link. Let me see. I don't have the link to hand for your books. I will definitely post them next week. So it was a T8 book, wasn't it? T8 patch book. They are available on Amazon, so why is that not showing up? Okay, for some reason they're not showing up for me, so I'll post them next time. But if plenty of you know Creshead already, I think, through YouTube or through Facebook or whatever. His books are brilliant. I'll make sure there's a link under for the next one, because they're really, really good. Marikem, there's this French artist that does killer dub with melodica, moog delay, looper and fretted mini cello. Fretted cello! Man, I didn't even know you could get frets on a cello. If they stuck frets on a violin, school children learning violin would be hugely more palatable for their parents, I think. The lack of frets is the thing that makes it so wobbly, wiggly. Fretted cello. See, this is the stuff we need to know on this stream. Fretted cello. Fretted cello is exactly what it sounds like, a cello with frets. Unlike guitar's bowed string instruments like violin, viola, cello and double bass stand upright and do not have frets on them. Look at this. Man, let me just pop this up. There's a man with a fretted cello. Surprisingly, frets on bowed string instruments were not always forbidden. Many may find it surprising to learn that an instrument called the viola da gamba, or gamba for short, which was popular during the Renaissance and Baroque eras of music during the 17th and 18th centuries, the gamba was not an early cello or a pre-cello, but they had frets. The cello always has 4 strings, the gamba usually has 6 or 7. Sounds like an upturned guitar. Anyway, what a thing! What a thing! Needs a whammy bar, says Michael Bart. Absolutely. I want to know. The best fretted violins guide, Larry. You can get fretted violins. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That is what you need. You don't typically think of violins as fretted instruments, sadly. And to be perfectly honest, they aren't meant to be fretted easier, says you. Nonetheless, science has taken over and the violin market has been graced with a few fretted violin options in this guide. I've rounded up the best ones. Look at that. I suppose if you're a purist, then the lack of frets is what makes the violin sound like a violin. It's like taking the pitch bend off of a keyboard or something, you know. But even so, for learning, a fretted violin is a novelty instrument that for the most part comes in an electric variety. I personally consider frets on an acoustic to be in bad taste. This is not me speaking. I would recommend finger tapes or finger guides. The Cantini Earphonic MIDI fretted violin at a reasonable price, which is £1,200. Looks cool though, doesn't it? It's an axe. It's axe shaped. Wow. I suppose, to be fair, if you're learning violin, giving you frets is like putting stabilizers on a bike. If you've got to take them off pretty quick, otherwise you won't learn where to put your fingers, and it's probably even worse. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, Chris said, so absolutely. Sorry I couldn't find the link whilst I'm here. A fretted cello violin would be so... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Biggest part of the expression comes from not having frets. Yeah, as I heard. Yeah, absolutely. But also, for learners, the biggest part of the headache comes from not having frets, in my humble opinion. It's just like... Great for beginners, Inky the Cat. I think so. At least you get to know where the notes are, and then you hone in on making them in tune, wouldn't you, after that? I'm not 100% certain whether tuning is even really discussed in early violin lessons. So yeah, I think so. They'll be making a fretted, fretless bass next. Absolutely. Even fret markings would be cool. I agree, Chris said. Absolutely. A fretless guitar would be nice. They are expensive though. That hippie looking guy whose name eludes me plays one sometimes. Yes. There is a fretless guitar, isn't there? The Precision bass was a fretted version, evolution of the stand-up acoustic bass. Bass hurts my fingers. There is wait. There is the man with the shovel guitar. I really want to make one of these. And it's open string tuned, so whatever you do to it sounds really cool. Here he is, cranking up the 3-string shovel guitar, and you tune the 3-string. You make it out of a shovel. You tune the 3 strings to, well, octave and a fifth, maybe. You know, so if you just go blang, it sounds cool. Let me just pause the music for a second. Take a second just to find where we are, because I've got a lot of windows open. This thing is such an inspiring thing. If you fancy a project, it's kind of a lockdown project, really. Okay, I'm missing some music somewhere. I'm just going to pause the music for a second. Check out this guy. How cool is this? Just brilliant. And the good thing is, I reckon this guy's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but I reckon you could pick it up reasonably quickly. Because the bottom two strings are, I can do the dong, dicka picking type stuff, but just strumming. It's like box guitar where you tune all the strings to something useful and then kind of play. I'll see if I can find a box guitar one. Cheers, Steve. Enjoy. It's cool, isn't it? And he sells kits. He'll sell you the bits. Just go up to B&Q or whatever your American equivalent of shovel shops is. Just amazing. He's called Justin Johnson, and he's a real dude. I'll send you a link to his webpage because he does a whole bunch of this kind of stuff. Let me just move this off. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Let's do this. A whole bunch, and he's made quite a name for his shovel guitars. He sells them, does all sorts of stuff. So I will post this link. But also, I think he makes kits for them and stuff. Here he is. Only purpose for gardening tools should be music making. Oh, hang on. That's not a good link. I've just posted. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. And let's have a look. They are $450 for the whole kit. I'm sure you could make your own, with a shovel for less than that. But you can get a deluxe cranking it up bundle, 3-string shovel guitar strap, slide, and a lesson DVD for $500. And there's another one here for $450. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's without the strap. And you can get just the guitar for $400. He's got some others really kind of cool stuff as well. He's got this whiskey barrel one just off here. These Jack Daniels ones, which are really neat. And I'm pretty sure... Man, I wish I played guitar. Double Vision 6-string lap steel 4-string tenor cigar box hybrid guitar, $500. I'm sure he makes the bits as well. Let's have a quick look. That's where I was. I found somewhere where to go through it, where you can literally buy the bits that you screw in. Yeah, what a guy. And those box guitars, I think it's called box guitars, isn't it? Where you kind of make them out of a cigar box type thing. And you tune all the strings to be the same kind of thing. So that's another 3-string. That's a 3-string cigar box style guide. Hang on.
Yeah. And this is tuned same intervals, but this is G, D, G.
So it looks like it's easier
So
to
that's what
kind of hold
nylon
chords
strings
with
sound
that.
like, and this is a piezo as well.
Because you strum it and it's in tune. So if you block all the frets on the way up, you're gonna be
Last
kind
but
of
not
in tune.
least,
Mark Tinley
have
makes those boxes.
electric-
Does he? Does he indeed? Says Azio. Right, Azio Head says Mark Tinley, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Mark Tinley, makes those box guitars. I'm going to have to talk to him about it. Maybe we should get him on and have a chat about that. I know he's going through some real troubles as well. His wife is unwell at the moment. Huge, huge love to Mark from everybody here and his wonderful wife. That's amazing. That's really, really amazing. I didn't know that. What a talented guy that man is. Let's have a look. Yes, you can buy it. Inky. It's expensive though. We could sell your MPC and buy a shovel guitar though. Might be able to do a swap. Maybe shall I do that for you, Inky, for Christmas? I'll sell your MPC and get you a shovel guitar because I think that would be cool for doorless jamming. Maybe not. Wow, well dope. Ace of Spades, just off to Wilco's to pick up a shovel. To be honest, I so nearly did that over here. Yeah, if you honestly, they're just so cool. Just so cool. We could do wiggly shovels. You could buy a proper guitar for about 150, says Kev Cumin. Yeah, but yeah, it's not the same, is it? Not the same. I'll tell you what you can do with a proper guitar though. You can tune the strings to be a 3 or 4 string version of the shovel. And then basically, if you tune the lower, take the top and bottom strings off, so you're left with, with 5, doesn't it? Okay, just take the bottom one off or the top one off, so you're left with 4, and then tune the bottom 3 to be a chord and the top one to be the top of that chord, so they're all in tune, and then kind of strum them all and just play along up and down on the top string, and it kind of sounds great, you know. If you can't play guitar but you want to record some guitar, just tune the strings to the right chord. Literally, it's much more fun. As long as you definitely can't play. If you can play guitar, then full marks to you. I'm very jealous, very, very jealous. The trouble is that the wood that modern shovels are made from is no good. I'm off to eBay to corner the market in vintage shovels. Says Spiffo Smith. Yeah, you need those analog shovels, man. The handles, they just don't sound the same. They really don't sound the same. Tonal Axis, I'm 50 now and still learning guitar after about 30 years. Yeah, you and me both. I'm getting better, but I can't play like these guys. I mean, I'm not learning guitar. I just wish I could play. I could still strum a few chords, but one of my best mates, a guy called Ado, he played for New Model Army, and he plays with Kirk Brandon now. I think it's Spear of Destiny, but he's just. I put an advert in Melody Maker to put a band together, and he showed up, and then just became really good mates, and we were in a band together for a while, and then he went off and played in real bands, and it was like he was born with a guitar. You know, it's just that natural, the way you can see some keyboard players, their hands just fall into the right positions. And it's the same with this guy. It was just like he was literally, the guitar was kind of joined to him from birth. It's really good. And when you see something like that, you think, there's no point in even starting, is there? It's just a really natural way of playing. Big love to Mark Tinley in the chat. Enki says she's not really sure about selling the MPC for a shovel guitar. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Hey, Paul Artola, thanks for joining. We probably won't be going on for much longer. It's being the end of the day. 5:30, knock off for home time. He's got a fantastic photo of him using the box guitar a bit differently, says Azio Head. Well, that's going to be worth a Google. I have a guitar I think I'm going to use as a shovel now. It has a signature on it. Is that wrong? Yeah, probably, Paul. Yeah, to be honest. But yeah, just tuning your strings. Just get a guitar, tune the strings into something straight, like firsts and fifths. So it just sounds right, and then just go up and down the fret. You'll be fine. I've been playing 37 years and never stopped learning, Kev Huey. Yeah, I know. Same with keys, but that 37 years is just so valuable. So valuable. All right. 9:30 a.m. in LA for Universal Vibe, the start of the working day for some. And for others, they probably started earlier, but 9:30 has always seemed like a reasonable start time for a company. So hello to you in LA waking up. 5:30 in the UK, end of the working day for some. Some people are obviously working a lot harder and later. Some people started later. Some people may not be working at all. Hello to you. 10 mil, great stream. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers. Thank you very much, Tim. Lovely to see you. Aquatic Borealis plays guitar, but not that well. So yeah, we'll knock off for the day. I'm going to try and stream again tomorrow because I think this probably has legs, and if I can do it so I actually get something done at the same time, which is of benefit to everybody, I will. So at least the cameras are working and everything's good. So I will fix Streamlabs. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon, 1ish, 2ish, something like that. I'll probably post something on YouTube to tell you what's going on if anything changes. All right, everybody, 9:30 in Electronic Sounds territory. So you're in the same time zone as LA. So Ian J. Cole is doing some MIDI programming. Paul Holmes is saying good fun, best everyone. All right, guys. Thanks ever so much for joining. Do hit the like if you're still there and you haven't. That's always good for the algorithms. If you haven't subscribed, I'm sure you will have. If you subscribe, you'll get a ping tomorrow when it's time for this stream to kick off again. And if there's anything you particularly want to talk about, or me to talk about, or whatever, that would be amazing. I'm quite happy to drone on about anything with the decent music in the background. So, all right, take care, everybody. 5:30 on the dot in the afternoon in the UK. Enjoy what looks to be a dry evening.